teaching them
Mashobano wadla umuntu amenga ngendaba le Sizok'thola sila Richards Bay sibuyile Maris 2 senza show ukuthi abasifunayo nathi siyabafuna as long babhayisa ama drugs ngizwile bathi ama videos wethu aya circulator amongst ama drug dealers bayawonana ngathi futhi bayaplana bayisicela ukuthi senze umsebenzi wabo ukuthi ube lula sibasondele because of as long babhayisa ama drugs kula kungena thina khona.
Hello world, hello kings and queens, welcome back to the UnChristian Network. This is the UnChristian Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us and being with us once again. Today is a special edition of the UnChristian Podcast. I had the immense pleasure and honor of sitting with one of my favorite television hosts and community activists in the person of Mr. Xolani Khumalo. Xolani Khumalo is well known for his hosting role on the show Sizok'thola on Moja Love channel 157 on DSTV. Sizok'thola is a drug-fighting, drug-busting show where Xolani goes with his team and law enforcement agencies into various communities around South Africa where they bust drug dealers and drug users and drug traffickers. And it's one of the most popular shows on television right now, a very controversial show, and he himself has become a controversial man, even having his own life threatened because of the work that he's doing. We had an opportunity to sit with him on the UnChristian Podcast, not just to know about his work, but also to know about the man behind the work. I first started by talking to him and finding out his background, where he comes from, his childhood and how he grew up, and what made him join the fight against drugs in South Africa. Take a listen.
I was born in Tembisa, but I grew up in most parts of South Africa.
Oh,
yeah. Ngikhulele endaweni eningi. That's why I'm multilingual here and there. Yeah, so ngokuzalwa ngazalelwa eTembisa.
Yeah.
Then ngafunda eVaal.
Okay.
Yeah, then ngabuya futhi ngazohlala eTembisa.
Right.
After my parents passed on. It was a childhood that difficult. If I was weak or if bengasamandla kaNkulunkulu.
Yeah.
I could have resorted into worse things. And ngoba kunezinto engiyifundayo ngoba mina ngumuntu wesonto.
Sure.
Ngihamba isonto kakhulu. Ngiyakholelwa kakhulu
Okay, ukhonza phi?
Ngikhonza zayona.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, ngishaya isikhalanga.
All right.
Ngishaya isikhalanga.
Umshumayelo khona.
Lutho.
All right.
Ngokuzama ukucula lapho nalapho.
Yes.
Yeah. So ekukhuleni kwami you know, when you grow up as an underprivileged child, you turn to long for certain things. And isifiso sami always was I'd like to actually do something with my life. So you'll find ukuthi isimo sikuvumeli and ukhalele lifestyle enjani. You end up doing wrong things and you end up having wrong friends. So nabantu engangibukela kubona kakhulu, I saw them doing wrong things.
Sure.
Some of them, they resorted into smoking drugs. And that affected me a lot. So mangibona logo ngaqala ke manje because I have two siblings.
Okay.
Abangilandelayo, so I grew up as ubhuti wabo omdala.
Okay.
So I had to protect them. So this thing yokuba anti-crime started there.
Okay.
Then at some point in my life I got confused.
Okay. All right.
Then yazi uNkulunkulu kushanga uDicane.
Yeah.
Uzokufundisa isifundo.
Yeah.
But from that ngazitshela ukuthi I would like to do the right things.
Right.
Okay, ngokufunda. I did explosive engineers. So
explosive engineering. Okay.
yeah, so mina ngikwazi ukudubula umhlaba.
Oh, dynamite.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, specialty sami.
Yeah.
Then ke kuhamba isikhathi kwavela opportunity ukuthi ke ngene kuSizok'thola.
Okay. Okay.
Then ngayitshela ukuthi yazi uNkulunkulu akasebenzi yena direct, usebenzisa umuntu.
Right. Right.
And ngayitshela ukuthi lo mthwalo angithosa wona akusumthwalo ongangihlula.
Yeah.
Ngoba uthi sithatha ijoko lakhe.
Yes. Ngoba
lilula. So abaningi babona lo msebenzi ngoyenza kumsebenzi onzima. Kodwa ke for mina ulula.
Ngempela.
Ngoba angithwesanga ijoko
Hey,
lesina.
no, I know. You need to talk to me about that. Umsebenzi okunzima ngiyeke ngiyala.
For mina ulula.
Hayibo.
Yeah, ngoba ngoyenza every day.
Eish.
And ngiphila wona and ngiphila ngawo, so
Yeah.
the only thing I want to do is to see a country to becoming better.
Right.
Because I love it, because this is my home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ayikho enye country ngiyaziyo ngazile.
Yeah.
So if ngiyibona nje ilimala ngalendlela ilimala ngayo.
Yeah.
It's very painful.
Sure. I then proceeded to ask Xolani about how the opportunity to begin Sizok'thola or even host the show, being a man of very little on-screen experience, but he got the opportunity and he's actually executing it very well, in my opinion. I want you to watch and take a listen to what he said about his journey of how Sizok'thola began.
Yeah, how it started is sesangena Moja Love mina no X namagents wasegas.
Yes, ngiyambono X.
Yeah, we were bouncers for
I see.
Uyachola 99.
I see.
Then we had an idea. Then X-Repo was born.
Okay.
Then I think for the first 2 episodes I was there. Then I went back into mining. Then masengibuya ke kwavela le opportunity.
Yeah.
So I was familiar with the cameras, with the kid.
Right.
Sekuyashuthwa ke manje.
Yes. No nyakuzo.
Yeah, so but the initiative ukuthi chunele show le.
Okay.
Bekune organization ebesinayo Policing Without Borders.
Okay.
Because if you can remember, there was a time where abantwana besikolo were stabbing teachers and stuff like that. So
bad times.
we were very hands-on on the outbreak. So we'd go my high schools and discipline them and make sure that they respect abantu abadala.
Right.
Yeah, so yonke lento isuka lapho. Yeah, isuka la. Then after X-Repo, then I went back to mining and came back. Then kwavela le opportunity Sizok'thola.
That's great. Looking at his deep passion for fighting against drugs, I was curious to know if Xolani himself was maybe a drug user, or was he a victim of the scourge of the drug pandemic in South Africa. And so I asked him if he himself had ever been a drug user and abuser. What were his personal experiences with drugs?
No, but there are members of my family who have destroyed their lives. Ngama drugs.
Right.
But one of them has came back manje.
No, that's great.
Yeah, successfully just loyal one.
So lento le yama drugs, you've seen it firsthand ukuthi ibulala kanjani impilo zabantu.
Yes, 100%.
What are some of the things you've seen and observed in families, in individual lives, in young people that have happened because of drugs?
Actually, a lot of things, because through Sizok'thola we experience a lot of things that are happening around drugs.
Yeah.
Not only with drug dealers or drug addicts.
Yeah.
We have abazali who are locking doors. Abakhiya amafriji, bafaka ama-butlers. Uthola indlu inama-butler everywhere, each and every door.
Yeah.
Inama-butler because of kunomntana omfana who's smoking drugs, kunomntana wentombazana who's smoking drugs. Utshontsha yonke into. Yeah, so that makes abazali noma ogogo to be afraid of dying because of they know ukuthi mabangashona indlu yabo it's going to be turned into a drug house. Or indlu yabo izogcina ingasana ama-frame even nama-cables. So it's very painful because of people that are suffering the most. It's not the drug users.
Yeah.
Yes, they are suffering because they have an addiction.
Yeah.
But for Bona, it takes them somewhere. It's a different lifestyle for Bona. But the people that are suffering and people that are crying are the parents that have invested their whole lives into making impilo zalabantwana ukuthi zibe right.
Yeah.
So it's an investment. It's just ebaleni.
Yeah.
So for Bona, it's very painful, and that's where Nati we get in as a foundation. But we don't only rehabilitate drug users, but we also give proper counseling for people that are affected who are around drug users. So that sikwazi ukubuyisa leso stigma sethu njengabantu abamnyama, because ikusasa lethu selilimele.
Sure.
And if we don't act now, there's no tomorrow. Khulumela phezulu. Bolelela udima ke ra ufaya manyana wa bu. Nkoronzisa Juma. How old are you? 39. For how long have you been here?
Since 2008. Since 2008.
You left Burundi in 2008. Have you ever seen me before?
No.
You've never seen me before? Okay. The reason why I'm here is because I want you to surrender all the drugs. Give me drugs. I don't want to tell me. I don't want you to say anything to me. I just want you to say, here are the drugs.
Sure. Every quarter, every year in South Africa, we get to receive drug crime statistics from different agencies, even the South African police. But do many of us really know the reality of the scale behind the drug problem? And are we exaggerating it, perhaps? Is it as bad as it would seem on television and on his show? Is it not so bad? What is the reality of the drug problem? And I got to ask Xolani about his insights and his experiences as he interacted with communities. Take a listen.
We had COVID, and COVID was very bad.
Yeah.
But it was dealt with in Sizok'thola because there were measures that were put in place.
Sure.
I think as people we are very naive to think drug problem is just a problem.
Yeah.
Drug problem for me is a terrorist attack against our country or any country that has the same problem. Because of the people that are dealing with these things, they're not using them. So people are gaining wealth and power through destroying other people. So that's an attack. Actually, ngabe reading bayenza kube a crime against the state because of you are killing the government.
That's right.
You'll find that political parties are looking for votes, but where are they looking for votes from? Because the people that should be voting are high in the streets. That they're turning into hobos. You know, Masakula Tinekas, we would know Wuti. I wouldn't hobo nyaneli one, permit clue, have a petty scoop, clue.
1 nyana, 2 nyana at most.
Yeah. But now, so maybe we have 10%, maybe we have 30%, maybe we have 60% of Lavandam. Because we cannot quantify them. You understand? A lot of people went missing. There are many people who are missing. We would think bashonile, but abantu ukuthi bahlele endaweni esifana nakulama buildings like are hijacked and smoking drugs. So this thing, it's big ngendlela isimanga because of this market. It's a R1 billion market. Like it's a R1 billion industry because of the market keeps on growing because one is recruiting another. You understand? One is recruiting another. There's always someone who's falling into drugs.
Sure.
So it's a very serious problem, and if we don't do anything about it, Sizok'thola HIV.
Another perception that we have in South Africa about drug abuse, and whether it's a perception that's correct or not is a matter that's up for discussion, is that the drug problem is merely centered around foreign nationals, that it is people who are, in most cases, illegal, undocumented foreigners who come into South Africa, and in order to make a quick buck or just to make a living, they then proceed to sell drugs, to produce them, to traffic them into the country. And I asked Xolani, because even on his show, we've seen the majority of perpetrators and suspects being foreign nationals. So is the drug problem in South Africa centered around foreign nationals? This is what he had to say.
To be very honest, abantu aba involved with South Africans.
Okay, so it's not majority foreigners.
I have a reason why I'm saying this.
Okay.
The reason why these drugs are able to access this country
Right.
is because of us.
I agree.
It's because of us being corrupt.
Yeah.
It's because of us saying, I don't earn enough, but I want this kind of lifestyle. It's because of us saying there's a socio-economic issue or endlini.
Yeah.
Then for me to get a better life, let me help this foreign guy to be able to work and distribute our drugs. So abantu who have access into getting them in bulk, it's foreign nationals.
Okay.
But the main drug traffickers, it's us, because we allow these things to come in
Yes.
and to go to those people who are able to distribute them. And at the same time, he's food to see consumer.
Yes, it's true.
So if we are to be strict and apply all the systems that we've put in place to make sure that contraband is not allowed in this country, or we don't allow it in using, we can go back in that state.
Yes.
Now South Africa is it's a good place. You can raise a child in South Africa, because now you can't raise a child in South Africa. Number two, South Africa is not a place to invest in. Investors are running away. And now South Africa is becoming filthy because of journalism, this phenomenon. So there are many things as involved with drugs. There's abuse, to a couple abuse because of these drugs involved. Instead of going for counseling, resort to drugs. Bantu betray uzibani ungene emadragsini. Abantu ufuna ukudestroy impilo kazibani umfake emadragsini. You understand? So sometimes a youth makes drugs look cool until it cannot be controlled. You understand? So we are 100% involved as South Africans, and we are assisting the cartels or the syndicates that are run by it's either foreign nationals or us. But at the end of the day, the reason why we have this problem is because of we allowed it.
Corruption got cool.
100%. So if we can't stop it, there's no one who will stop it. So we are actually assisting them into making their industry functional. And we are also capable to suffocate it and make sure that it doesn't work anymore. Tina food. We can stop it because we've started it.
Right.
So that's my view.
Many of us, when we think about solving the drug problem in South Africa and in our communities, we look to our government. I asked Xolani, does he think that there is enough political will and sufficient government policies to solve the problem and to fight this issue? Are our leaders doing all that they can to fight the drug problem? Are they even involved themselves somehow? I picked his brain on this.
We have a national drug master plan.
Okay.
So nothing has happened. The drug industry is growing. People are driving Lamborghinis. People are buying mansions. People are building estates.
Freely so.
People are opening nightclubs. Understand?
Yeah.
So the system is there.
Right.
Policies are there.
Sure.
These policies just need the right human resource to execute them.
Yeah.
So I can't really say government is willing or it's not.
Right.
And we don't know how far the damage has went. Because you'll find that you know, COVID showed me Uti, if the state wants something to happen, it's gonna happen. We were told to stay in houses and we stayed. If the state want to end this thing, believe you me, it can end it.
Sure.
But because of now they're taking time and our children and sisters and brothers are dying, at some point as South Africans, we have to clean it ourselves.
You have to stand up.
We have to stand up. As a result, we are marching on the 15th.
Yes, right.
To raise our voices, to raise our cries, to raise our concerns, and to say to whoever who's responsible, enough, it's enough.
Sure.
So ngisifiso sami ngathi abaphathi bangaba khona so that they can listen to us, because I don't want them to hear our cries on media or on newspapers. No. Ngifisa ngathi bangaba khona. The people who are directly authorized to make decisions
concerning this,
ngifisa ukuthi ngathi bangaba khona.
As you heard, Xolani is now the patron and the founder of the Xolani Khumalo Foundation. And one of the projects and services, if I can call it that, of the foundation is to fight against drugs in South African communities. And so, as there's going to be a march this coming Friday on the 15th of September 2023, I asked him, what are some of the demands that are going to be communicated at the union buildings to the leaders, to the government leaders? Hopefully some of them or one of them will be there to receive a memorandum that will be issued from the march. But what will be the demands? What is the organization, the foundation that is leading, marching for? What are the specific issues they want government to address?
We want drug offenses to be treated like sexual offenses.
Sure.
No bail. Or drugs or toll bail. So that's our biggest cry. Then in terms of strategizing on how we're going to eliminate these things, no, we have a way. They can come and engage with us.
Sure.
Sizobabonisa or sibachele ukuthi sizoyisebenza kanjani. We want lama drug dealers ukuthi angatholi bail. And drug offenses kungabi ne bail.
Sure.
You'll await trial so that we can have enough time to tell our results from the lab and everything. Because of one of the reasons why abantu baphuma, because of court feels like they're frustrating isikhathi sabo ama results angakabuyi because of the backlog
kuma labs.
Right. So now sifuna ukuthi kwenzeke kanjalo. Then number 2, we want ukuthi basinikeze isikhathi ukuthi how long is it going to take them to clean ama drugs emalokishini nasema-town kuma-harbor nakuma-border ukuthi mabe bayahluleka, then we will assist and we are willing to assist. Bona mabatsho because number 1, the society knows where the drugs are. Abosisi bethu abajolana lamajita, they know ukuthi ama-drugs akuphi. And we know ukuthi even ama-drug addicts, they are also tired but they can't come out. And those people are, trust me, they are willing to tell you ukuthi Ndumiso uyothengisa ama drugs. So we are willing to assist in terms of intelligence and the takedowns if they need help. Because we want to work with government. We want to work with all the departments that are involved.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bantu base South Africa. Igama lami uXolani. Ukhumalo umuntu ongumlazi umzelekazi kaMashobane. Sinenkinga enkulu esibhekene nayo yama-drugs. Sinenkinga enkulu ebulala isizwe sethu. So bengicela kubo bonke abayibonayo lento esibonayo ukuthi izwe lethu liyaphela. Ngicela babambisane nathi. Futhi bayimisele ngokubambisana nathi. Ngomhla ka-15 of September 2023
kune march eya e-Union Building. And leyo march imayelana nama-drugs. So thina sithi abafuna ukuya ku-march mababambane futhi bayihlanganise bona ngokwendawo zabo bakwazi ukuya kuleyo march leyo. So submitha ebaphathini bethu ukuthi kahle kahle lento yama-drugs iyasibulala. Sifuna isigwebo salabantu abathengisa ama-drugs bangatholi bail. We want harsher sentencing for labantu ababoshwe ngezinto ezimayelana nama-drugs, whether it's dealing or possessioners.
Xolani, in every episode of Sizok'thola, has been very intent and very specific in telling us that he works with law enforcement agencies. In fact, they don't conduct any raid or any takedown operation without the presence of local law enforcement agencies like the police and others. I asked him how his relationship is with the police and these law enforcement agencies. Is there a spirit of cooperation, and how do they work together?
After gathering my information, I go to them. So, gentlemen, this is the information I have.
Okay.
Can we work?
So it's your team first who
Yes.
gets, not the cops who get the information.
Yes.
Laba bahlala babiza amakhanabela.
Yeah,
Ama-investigators.
amakhanabela, you hamba phansi.
Hamba phansi.
Yeah.
Wow. Are they made up of investigators, or are they professional
Yeah,
in this, or
some
is
of
it
them.
just-
Yes, some of them are ex-subs members
Okay.
in the crime intelligence
Okay.
field.
Okay.
So we know exactly what we're doing. Yeah,
By the time you go to someone's house,
100%
wazi
positive.
kahle
Angimbuzi ngiyamtshela.
Yeah,
Ingakho mangifika ngiyamtshela ukuthi ngifunani, angimbuzi ukuthi usebenza kuphi, ngiyamtshela ukuthi ngizela into eso nengiyazi ukuthi khona and uzonginika yona. Finish and clear.
and uyayithola she.
Yeah, yona ngiyayithola.
One of our favorite parts of the show is that part. You know, that part when it's going to be a commercial break, the camera pans to the moon in the sky, in the darkness, and Xolani says those words, those very cold words. Jokingly, he says, "Don't worry." Because every time he comes to the scene and speaks to a subset, they always deny that they don't have drugs, they're not drug users, they're not selling. Many of them say, okay, cool, I was selling, but I'm not selling anymore. And they resist the interrogation. But we have seen that at the end of the commercial break, when the show comes back, these suspects have changed their tune. And now they are becoming cooperative, and they actually show him where the drugs are. They go into some of the most weird places to find the drugs and just surrender them to him. I asked them what happens during that moment. What really happens during that break that we don't see on TV? Let's see what he said.
No, the thing is, as umuntu makhuluma nami because mina ngine baby face.
Yeah.
Ubona kahle ukuthi usisi lo. Then after that masengena amadoda akagqoke impahla eziblue.
Yeah.
Masengena bona because bona they know how to do these things.
sure,
You understand? They were trained and they qualify for that.
Sure.
So yibo abantu abas-assista in terms of getting the information out. Because that is why I need the police. I don't work without them.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Xolani has been under a cloud of controversy, even the show itself, lately in South Africa, because allegedly one of the suspects that they interrogated and arrested from a scene where drugs were found died. And there were a lot of rumors saying that Xolani and his team, maybe even the police included, no clarity has been given either from the police or any other source about what really happened and what's the progress of the case. I got to ask Xolani what's happening with that case. Has he been arrested? Has he been charged for anything? He gives us the scoop.
Mina angaboshwa.
Okay.
Anga approachwa by subs to say there's a case against you.
Okay.
Yabona, but sekelele just ukuthi abogata batshune ispansabo because of we don't know, you understand, until they finalize the spansabo and they decide what to do.
Okay.
We can't say Gunje or Gunje because of I would be lying if I was to tell you anything about that. But someone died, they're investigating.
Okay, no, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
They're trying to find out
What happened.
Yeah.
A very important issue of personal concern to me and many of you out there as well is the issue of Xolani's personal physical safety and the threat to his security along with his family. And we have heard through the media and through other sources that he has been receiving death threats. He has been intimidated to stop with the work. Even the head of the channel and the channel itself has received threats to stop with this work, arguably from the very drug dealers that Xolani is trying to fight and snuff out of the community. I asked him, how does he feel about his personal security? Is there a threat? Has he received death threats? He gave me the lowdown.
Yeah, I am concerned because I'm human. I wouldn't want to die and leave my kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm very devoted in what I do.
Yeah.
And because of I can't predict what's going to happen. Lending is a dangerous game.
Yeah.
There's money involved. There's big money involved.
Yeah.
People don't want to lose money because of Xolani.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I don't want people to die because of money.
Of course.
I don't want our future to be destroyed because of someone who get diamond work. I think LV or Gucci. Even if I were to find out that there was someone who's powerful or involved with land.
Sure.
I'm a South African just like everyone.
Yeah.
Whether you're a minister, a councillor, or MMC, or an MEC, or a king, or a chief, as much as you were born here, I was also born here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I like South African and
No, siyalingana.
so, more when they're wrong, going down, whether, as I mean, this thing.
Sure.
Before you became a property owner, you were born in this country. Your DNA and your ancestral or whatever, your bloodline is from this country.
Yeah.
So anything that happens around here, you are a rightful citizen of this country.
Yeah.
So if I bought a property next to you and I see that you're doing something wrong next door, I won't ask you, and I won't be trespassing because I can't be trespassing at my own home.
Of course.
I'm just aligning you so that you do the right thing.
Yes. I'm sure many of us would love to do something in our communities and in our nation to help with the fight against drugs and help Xolani and his foundation in any way that he can. Of course, Xolani's foundation is not the only drug fighting agency that is out there in South Africa. There are many. What can communities and just ordinary people like us do to assist in our little corner, in our communities, wherever we are? What can we do to offer assistance, to offer that support that is needed in this fight against drugs? I asked Xolani.
You know, as community members, people must just group themselves and help fight this thing. So, for those who want to help, maybe in terms of the foundation that I have, they can plow in.
Yeah.
I have no problem. We have an SMS line.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to do a donation, their banking details,
Right.
and everything's legit. Because I know scams who are stealing people's money. Yeah, but anyone who'd like to assist the foundation into doing the work, they can just engage with the foundation.
And so if you go on Xolani's website, his foundation website, for that matter, you would realize that their focus and vision is far broader than just drugs only, although drugs is at the forefront of their mission and their fight. I asked him, what is the broader vision of his foundation? What other initiatives, projects, and I asked him what other initiatives and projects they are going to undertake as a foundation, and he gave us all the information.
In this Funuyenza as a foundation in future,
Sure.
is to have AMA rehabs all over South Africa.
That's amazing, yeah.
Because the damage has been done and the damage is great. So with the small rehabs that are here,
Yeah.
we can't accommodate everyone. So we would like to have a lot of rehab centers and a lot of economic rehab centers so that we can teach people about how to manage money and how to get into the employment fields, you know. Yes, we have to reintegrate them back into the society. But how do we do that? You know, that's an inpatient process, a siyenza ku rehab. Then there's an outpatient process as well as a reintegration problem.
I got you,
Yeah. Because of kulama reintegration problem, it's programs.
Yeah.
It's not ukudila ngomuntu kuphela, but it's ukudila ne-family yakhe, because they have to accept that person back. And ukudila ne-society food, because the society has to accept that person food. So in this season ukuthi sikhuluma nabazali, we assist abazali if they need counseling.
Yes.
We ensure safety food, you know, just to give them that confidence ukuthi umntana wabo useka right. Because it's not easy to repair someone from that kind of trauma.
Okay.
Because some bashaya abazali babo. Uzumama kutshela ukuthi umntana wami uyangishaya. What is that?
While they were high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or masekafuna ukuyobhema. Uyamshaya. You know? Omunye ugcina abona umama wakhe ngathi cherry.
Sure.
So the sexual offenses, you know, and now we have amanyama programs amaning.
Okay.
We have ama diversions program. Siphinde futhi singenelele kakhulu nasekuthenini how do we create employment?
Sure.
How do you create skills development?
Sure.
Partnering with CETAs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we are also assisting government in their own programs because we're an NGO.
Okay.
Like government always have this safer city program. So Tina, we are introducing a safer township program because of we found ukuthi imoto ithathwe down uhijack umuntu down iyopoliswa uphi elokishini.
Yeah.
So we have to monitor ukuthi elokishini kuyenzakalani, what are the activities ezikhona, ubani abenza in to make an area safe, because you'll find indawo ezifana nabo Thembisa. Thembisa uma ungayithembisa akusangeneki ngeyitrati, kuvalwe ngeyidini. People have barricaded themselves endaweni zabo because of wapaka imoto bayithatha.
My goodness.
Nayenza umsebenzi bafike banikhombe ngeyibhamu banithathela amafoni. So ensuring that township is a safer space, not for abantu abahlala lapho kuphela but also for businesses. Makuqala kuba nama unrest, how do we protect the local economy?
Yes.
Singabi nalama incidents zokuthi kuyaluthwa or kuyenzwa inini. So we are also in that space. Current primary subject, it's drugs.
Yes.
Nalaba abathengisa ukudla oku-expired. Yeah, asizowavala amashop.
And so, as mentioned before, as you heard Xolani talk about, there is a march that is coming up, a march to the union buildings to create awareness of the drug problem in South Africa and to make noise even to our leaders to say more needs to be done about the drug problem. And so here are some more details and specific details about the march as I asked Xolani to give them to us.
Our time is 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, right?
Yes, our time is 8 o'clock. So hlanganela khona ePretoria, then we march to Union building.
Okay.
So we're planning to march at around about 10.
Okay. Where do we meet? Marcia, where do we congregate first so that we can match?
Yes. So for now, we have in the way one, but we are looking at different points.
Sure.
So that we can sisuke endaweni is different sihlanganele endaweni one, then we become a mess.
Yes.
Yeah. So sihlanganela Beggars Park.
Okay, Beggars Park. Right.
Yeah, and futhi sifuna ukuhlanganela nase Eunice.
Okay.
But leya se Eunice sizo communicate ukuthi iva grand or iva grand. Mangaba grand sizo isebenza ngeBeggars Park.
Okay.
So what we would like to do futhi is to show that it's a peaceful march. There won't be any violence.
Right.
Abantu bazozana amakhandlela so that we can pray.
Yes.
Because we have abafundisi lapha, we have to pray for this thing because of we can not only fight it physically, but we need intervention.
Yeah, it is a spiritual problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
As mone karne uthatha abantwana abayi-3 uzwakale nabo. Yeah, that will be a great donation towards the march.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Because we are not a political party. We are not transporting our members.
Sure.
But we want masses, Zama community members to come. Bazozwakala nabo mabakhuluma ukuthi ikhalo zabo yini.
Yes.
And so that we can have a better way forward.
Right.
So abanama toilet or amanzi or in anything umuntu angazo contribute ngayo.
Yes.
La singakwazi kufinyelela khona maybe ngokuncedisana singakwazi kufinyelela. But one thing engayifuni, I don't want imali from abantu.
Okay.
Because of we are not about that.
Right.
The march is for us to raise a closet, not to make profit.
Yes.
So if abantu back somewhere, let's say kunabantu basesantini, bangahlanganisa babone ukuthi bayisebenza kanjani bazwakale ku march.
Okay.
Because that's where we want to raise our voices because of masihlukene omunye nomunye ayenza into yakhe. Angezizwakale kahle. But masibambene siyimbumba.
Yes.
Then the voice yethu izozwakala.